What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Hippo Supercoach, and today I want to talk about my best trade targets going into first round of the buy, so round 12. It's going to be a pretty hectic round, especially for me. So let's have a look at the most traded in and the most traded out. So most traded out, people are going early on Ashcroft. I don't hate it. I think it's dependent on your team. He will be good buy cover, but if you do need someone this week, it might be worth downgrading. At this point, I think I'm going to do that, but wait and see. People are getting rid of Wilmot. I think he has to go. He's made enough money. He's done his job, 184k. He's been some bad scores in there, but we can't be too unhappy about that. Sava Radigalea, people are trading, obviously. He's been injured, so 350k, really good cash grab. 180k he's made, so can't complain about that either. People are trading Sin Cotter out. Now, I think with Carlton's injuries, there's about 5 different injuries to the Blues this week, so I think that Sin Cotter should be named again. Fingers crossed. I need him named badly. People trading Darcy out. It seems like he's going to be out for like 4 to 5 weeks, so that's a no-brainer. I think if you're going to get rid of Darcy, Kieran Briggs is the best option. Sam Simpson, people are trading out, hoping he comes back in this week, but if he doesn't come in, I'm going to have to trade him. Matt Roberts, yep. Owen Davey, yep. Van der Bruggen, Samson Bryan, all fair enough. Okay, let's have a look at the most traded in. So Eddie Ford, number 1, makes a lot of sense. Break-even's just simply too good to pass up on. I think he's a must-have. We have to get him this week. Otherwise, we're going to miss out on way too much cash gen. Negative 114 break-even. And if he scores 54, he makes 76k. So if you don't pick him, I think it's just way too risky not to pick him. So no-brainer pick Eddie Ford. Find a way to get him in. I don't know who he comes in for, but just find a way. Now, Kieran Briggs, 8,500 people going early on him, and it seems like most who are people trading out for him? Traded in for Radigalia, yep. Darcy, yep. So those two make a lot of sense. Wilmot, okay, via DPP. Ashcroft via DPP. Samson Ryan, yep. But Ron Marshall, I'm not sure if I would be going to do something like that. I know Marshall has the bye this week, but I don't know if I would do that. Marshall's got the guaranteed Sol Ruck status pretty much for the rest of the season, you would assume. So to go early on Briggs, I know he's going to make a lot of money. Negative 64 break even. Scores 68 this week, he makes 60k. A lot of cash to be made here, especially if he stays in the team as Sol Ruck. I like the pick, but I can't justify it unless you're getting rid of one of these first 5 guys. Or basically, as long as you're not trading a Primo out, I don't think it's worth trading a Primo out for him. But yeah, I mean, I could be wrong. It's a tough one. Jack McRae, 574k now. I was pretty hot on him. I've seen some stats with him without Treloar and with Treloar, and he clearly scores better with Treloar out of the team. So I think with Treloar apparently coming back this week, I wouldn't be going and getting McRae. I'd wait a couple more games. If you have to pay 600k, you have to pay 600k. It's only extra 25k, and yeah, break even 41. He's going to get to 600 if you don't get him this week. But I just think I'd rather wait till after the buys, make sure he's scoring okay with Treloar on the side. Other than that, I wouldn't be going near McRae because we don't know. I mean, he's a forward, so like, I think we can get him a little bit cheaper after the buys, but I understand why people would get him in. Wardlaw's one that I thought was a must-have, but I don't know if he is anymore. I think if he's named this week after a poor game, then he should be okay to bring in just because he is, obviously getting plenty of CBAs, and I always forget to silence my phone. Yeah, plenty of CBAs, obviously, so that's a good sign. But yeah, I'm not sure if he's a must-have. It's a hefty price to pay for a rookie. Oyster Mullen is one that I'm seeing people go early on, and I don't mind it only because he's probably going to play enough games to be to make money. It's just, can you go early on him? And he does have that good buy round, so I don't mind that. Obviously it's risky going early on a rookie without them being on the bubble, but I don't mind it. If he's named this week, I don't see why that's a problem. Jordan Dawson, 593k, makes a lot of sense as well. He's one of my top Primo trade-ins for this week. But yeah, obviously got that second last buy, so it's not too bad. I don't know if I would jump on him right now. I think he's got maybe one more price drop, maybe 130. Yeah, maybe one more price drop, maybe get to like 580, but it's probably about as cheap as you'll get. Jordan Dawson, he's a gun. Tom Stewart, 587, another one that I think is a really good pick. So Stewart and Dawson are the best picks this week, in my opinion. Reason being, Stewart's got the good buy. If you don't already have him, it's a no-brainer pick. I'd rather Stewart, and then I would go Dawson. But yeah, so I really like both of these guys. Stewart plays so well at home, and just generally has a good, really good, like completely intercept role. So yeah, Jordan Ridley's one I probably wouldn't go on. 428k, it's a big risk. Like obviously he's had a last 2 games have been really good. He scored 18. Respectable, but not quite primo scores other than that. So I don't know if he's a keeper. If you have to take a punt and you know you're low on trades, know you're low on cash gen, then I don't mind it. But for me, I probably wouldn't advise it. Jordan Ngoe is one that I was going to get in last week instead of Jack Steele. It would have been amazing. But I think after these 2 games, he'll probably have a bit of a harder run. I don't know if he's a full Uber Primo, like he's still got a bit to prove. But obviously the price is really nice. He's just come off a massive game. Take into account it was against North Melbourne, but yeah, I just don't know if I could jump on a Degoe, but I don't mind it in the midfield. And Tim English, people are trading in 592k. I guess it's just cheap. All right, so let's look at my trades. Like I said, if you don't have Tom Stewart, he's a no-brainer pick this week. 587k. Not going to get too much cheaper than that. We'll probably float around the 580 to 620 kind of mark all year. But yeah, I think Stewart's a no-brainer. And then I'd probably look at Dawson. Dawson's one I'm trying to get in, but I think I'm going to get Oisin Mullen in early, which is not something I want to do, but we have to wait for teams. Because my Byron is really in trouble. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, so I've got 1, 2, 3. That's it. If we're going off for last week, 4, 5 lead suspended, 6, 7, 8, 9 Woodlaw, 10 English, 11, 12, 13, 14 with Ford. So 14 it's looking like. Now if Mitchell and Sinclair come back, which I expect, that'll be 16. Hopefully Laird can get off tonight, that'll be 17. And then hopefully one of Davey or Drury come back in, and that would field me 18. But obviously it's pretty dire. I do have one trade left for this week, where I could get in Mullen for maybe a Constable, maybe a Sinclair. If one of those guys don't get named, Mitchell or Sinclair, I'd probably go to one of them, and that would get me to the 19. But I'd only do it if I could. But yeah, hoping for players to come back at this point. If I was looking for a midfield primo, I think Lachie Neale's at a really nice price. Now he copped a really hard tag. He's got the buy this week, I know, but I'd just wait a week on him and then grab him. 577k is probably as low as he's ever gonna get, I reckon. Obviously his break even is not showing, but like 3 on average of 120, and he copped a very hard tag, like I said, and did really well, fought through it. Really impressed with that game from him. And yeah, I think he's back. I don't want to jinx him, but I think he's back. So yeah, it might be a bit inverted. Like every year he seems to have an amazing first half. This year it might be the second half that he does better in. I don't know. I still just think teams will eventually pick up on Dunkley being so dominant and effective, and damaging, I guess, and start to tag him or put some time with him or share the time, and that would really help Lachie Neale, because it seems like they're still just tagging Neale and then Dunkley's just going nuts. So I don't know if that's a good idea, but yeah, so fingers crossed Drury can get named and Davey can come back, and obviously don't hope anyone gets dropped. But yeah, it looks like Seamus Mitchell's going to play, which is a really positive sign. But yeah, my ranking is completely relying on people getting named this week. Otherwise, I am screwed. But that's it for the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. To summarize, Stewart, Dawson, and then if you need a midfielder, it's probably got to be, if you really need a midfielder this week, I'll tell you who I would get. Ready? So let's filter by average. All right. But in midfielder this week, I think the no-brainer pick is probably, there's not really many. Matt Rowe's the one that I've seen people going on. I don't hate it, but 600k, you're paying top dollar for a guy that's not proven. I probably wouldn't go near him. There's really no midfielders like that stand out to me. None at all. So yeah, I mean, Patrick Cripps, 497. What's his break even? 123. He might get to like 450k. He could be a nice little second half option, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, in terms of the midfielders, I wouldn't get one this week. I'd look at Lachie Neale next week, just because he's gonna have the buy over and done with. Jack Steele's another one that you could get, but after what he did on the weekend, I don't think anyone wants him. But yeah, so Clary looks like it'll be 2 weeks. So yeah, start the plan on getting him back in or getting him in if you're in my position. or getting a promo that can somewhat match him, I don't think there's going to be many. So that's it for the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. We're on the 10 minutes, and I'll see you in the next one.